Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com. And like every Friday, I'm joined by Mr. Jesse Shule of jesseshule.com, one of the best handicappers you'll find anywhere in the sports betting industry. And his numbers will back that up over the last, 5 years or so. So, Jesse, Happy New Year, my friend, first and foremost. I hope you're having a happy holiday season.
Yeah, happy holidays, Ross. It's been a great Christmas, and we're looking forward to New Year's Eve. It'll come a little quicker here than it will for you, I guess.
That's right, 12-hour difference. For those of you who are not aware, Jesse is in Thailand. That's where he resides with his beautiful family, and it's a 12-hour difference. So this guy, as we're recording right now, it's 12 p.m. Eastern time
It's
on
already New Year's Eve.
and it's already New Year's Eve in Thailand. That is correct. So, uh, anyway, we got a couple bull matchups we're going to take a look at, and they go on Monday, January the 2nd. Real good matchups, as a matter of fact. Utah and Penn State will be Jesse's game he's going to cover, and that's the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. And Mississippi State and Illinois, some intrigue in that bowl matchup. The ReliaQuest Bowl being played in Tampa, Florida. Before we get to that, though, just a friendly reminder, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I don't know why you wouldn't. We have some of the best handicappers in the country right here on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Not only myself and Jesse Shule, but Sean Higgs of PicksandParleys.net, also Big Al McMorty of BigL.com, and Doug Upstone of DocSports.com as well. It costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. If you hover over that OSGA emblem there on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, subscribe button will come up. Hit the subscribe button. And then while you're there, hit the notification bell as well. So you don't have to keep going back and forth to check when the videos are up on a daily basis. You'll be notified immediately upon us publishing any of our Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast on this channel. Okay, Jesse, before we get to the free picks, tell the folks how you've been doing of late and what you may have coming up over the next few days.
Well, unlike yourself, Ross, I know you mentioned yesterday you got off to a 7-1-1 start to bowl season, and I'm very happy for you, and I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you. It's
But
now
I've been a
seven
little
two
bit.
and one, but that's
Oh
okay.
well. Oh well.
Yeah.
I think I'm just hitting about 500. I had Washington last night, but at Sports Memo, I had them on the team total because I thought that was the absolute best way to play the game. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. So my followers at Sports Memo, didn't come out on the right side of that one. But I've only played half a dozen bulls so far, and I think I'm hitting about 500 so far. But now it's when we start to really get into things, right? These bulls coming up today, tomorrow, and the next few days are going to be the big ones. So I've had my focus on these ones, and this game that we're going to break down here is one of them. And I'm very happy to be dealing with bowl games that players aren't going to be opting out of for the most part, and everybody wants to play in.
Absolutely, because it's been a chore to really sort through all the information in terms of the transfer portals. We've had over 1,000 players enter the transfer portal just since the end of the regular season, Jesse. And also, we don't have to deal with the NFL players leaving early for the NFL draft because, look, what better way to showcase themselves than in a major bowl game, let alone college football playoffs where a national title is on the line. So does it get easier? No, but deciphering through all the information and equating it to the current line certainly becomes not as difficult a task. Let me put it that way. Anyway, yes, 7-2-1 with my college football bowl selection so far. I lost last night with Florida State. I have the winner on today's, which was Friday, December the 30th. The winner today in the Arizona Bowl matchup between Ohio and, it escapes me, Wyoming. Good thing I have that game. Anyway, Jesse, let's get to your picks. Your pick, I should say, singular, in the Rose Bowl. And the floor is all yours, my friend.
Well, thankfully, the Rose Bowl is still a game that these guys get up for. Fans of Penn State have told me that their team is fired up like they've never seen before to play in the Rose Bowl. That being said, I can assure you that the Utah Utes are also as fired up as they are. It was a disappointing season for Utah. They lost in week 1 at Florida on a game-ending interception. And that was a painful one for me personally because that was my only loss in week 1. And it was one of 3 losses in the month of September. When you only lose 3 games in the month of September, you remember all 3 of them. So, it was a disappointing season for Utah, despite the fact that they won the Pac-12 championship game in dominant fashion, 47-24 against USC. Cam Rising played great in that game, 310 yards, 3 touchdowns, 22 of 39 passing. But Rising was inconsistent all year. Really, you could hang the blame on him for all 3 of their losses to Oregon, UCLA, and Florida. Rising was a pretty damn good quarterback last year, and he was pretty damn good at times this year. I think he's got a higher ceiling than Sean Clifford, to be honest with you. Clifford last year in the bowl game, he threw for 195 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks on just 14 of 32 passing in a 24-10 loss to Arkansas. Clifford is more than capable of tossing up an ugly game as well. Most of the players, I believe, are going to play for this game. Notable absences: Dalton Kincaid is a big one for Utah, maybe the best tight end in the country, if not maybe second best to Bowers in Georgia. But the wide receiver number 1 for Penn State is also out, Parker Washington. So, that may just cancel each other out. At the end of the day, this is Pac-12 country. You look at the head coaches' records. Kyle Whittingham, 11-4 in bowls. James Franklin, just 5-5. Like I said, I think higher upside for Cam Rising. I think Utah's got a lot of talent on that team, and perhaps a better team than their record this season indicates. So I'm going to go with Utah.
Okay, so Jesse Schul, he likes the Utah Utes, and they're -2 as we speak. And I'm sure I could speak for Jesse that if you get -135 or less on the money line, I would think that would be the direction you would advise to go, Jesse. I don't want to
Absolutely,
speak for
Ross.
you. Okay.
No, always taking money line on games that are in that 1.5, 2.5 range.
Right. So they're -2 right now. You should be able to get -135 or less, no matter where you look and who your sports book is. So again, Jesse Schul likes Utah here in this spot in the Rose Bowl over Penn State. That should be a really physical game, Jesse, because both teams notoriously under these head coaches have been very physical, not only at bowls during bowl season, but throughout the course of the season. 2 real good interior lines on both sides of the ball for each team. And, I agree. I like Cam Rising a heck of a lot more than I like Sean Clifford. And I think that could tip the scales in this game when push comes to shove. All right, so I'm going to get into my game, which is Mississippi State. And excuse me, I got a little problem here with my teleprompter. Okay, Mississippi State, Illinois. Excuse me, folks. Right now, Mississippi State is a 1.5-point favorite, and the total in that game is 46. That game will be played again on Monday, January 2nd. It's the first game of the day, noon Eastern time kickoff. It's the ReliaQuest Bowl, and played in Tampa, as I alluded to, at Raymond James Stadium, the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Illinois gave Michigan probably their toughest game of the year. As a matter of fact, I'll go out on a limb and say it was Michigan's toughest game of the year because at home, the Wolverines pulled out a 19-17 win over Illinois and had to come from behind to do so. And that was an Illinois team that went into that matchup as a 17-point underdog. Illinois this year, 8-4, and their 4 losses have come by a combined 20 points. So this team, you can make a strong case, is a lot better than their 8-4 record may indicate. Mississippi State will be playing with a lot of emotion in this game. And tragic loss of head coach Mike Leach shortly after the regular season ended. Leach succumbed to a heart attack, and it's an absolute shame. And our condolences go out to Mike Leach, his family, his all the players, coaches, friends, etc. Having said that, there's still a game to be played. I do believe that at least early on, Mississippi State will have an emotional edge in this game, because I'm sure that's going to come into play with the death of their head coach. However, as the game wears on, I think we'll see a difference when it comes to the emotion, and I really think that you'll see the other side in Illinois really be strong and steadfast throughout 4 quarters as far as emotions goes, because let's be honest, folks, Illinois is not like they're a perennial bowl team, let alone to be playing in a major bowl game like this one. And Illinois also, in terms of defensively, they're very good, and they're balanced offensively. And I think that this game goes down to the wire, but I like Illinois to pull this one out as a plus 1.5 point underdog over Mississippi State. Jesse, any thoughts on this game or anything else that you want to get off your mind?
Yeah, you mentioned the Michigan game, and I will point out that those of us like myself who were holding Illinois tickets and rooting for Bielema's boys would suggest that they kind of got hosed by the officials in that game as well. There was some controversial calls. That's one loss that could have easily been a win and maybe should have been a win for Illinois. And I like your play on Illinois. It's a team that I did well for me this year.
All right. So Jesse Schul, he likes the Utah Utes on the money line at minus 135 or less, or even on the point spread -3 or less over Penn State. And Ross Benjamin, yours truly, he likes the Illinois Illini plus the 1.5 over Mississippi State in the ReliaQuest Bowl. That game goes at noon Eastern, and Jesse's game goes at 5:30 or 5 p.m. Eastern time on January 2nd. Jesse, I won't talk to you until next year, but I could tell you folks that we will be back next week. Jesse will be doing an NFL video as well as a college basketball video as well. So he'll be on twice a week with me going forward. And I hope you and your family have a very happy New Year, Jesse. And
well, thank you. And you too, Ross. I hope you stay home, stay safe, and
absolutely
don't get too out of control.
No, that me getting out of control these days is having 3 cups of coffee. Anyway, I like to wish each and every one of you out there also a very happy New Year. And Jesse, like Jesse said, stay safe, folks. Have fun, but stay safe. And until the next time, for Jesse Schul and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.